Hello everyone, I'm just here with my sidekick Ludo and Kona. Say Kona. We're gonna do a spring summer garden tour update. I realized my last one was last May and we are first week of December now. So May 2021. Right at the end of 2022 now. So anyway, I'll give you a tour and see how everything's going and all the changes and stuff and the growth of all the trees. So this is the gate right at the entrance that I filmed the last one from. Yeah, there has been a ton of changes and growth. As you can see, I've got more of a jungle happening now. So we'll start here. These are the Grimmachamas. Supposedly in an orange and a black. Purple and orange, but they just both end up being purple. They just got done fruiting, and one of the branches snapped here actually from the weight of all the fruit. I just pruned it off, which is a bit annoying. Yeah, so like these limbs like that, they're so lanky, and then there's probably like 20 fruit on just this cluster here. So I'm gonna give everything a big hard prune. I haven't had their prune yet for spring. Soursop. So this soursop was a little bit behind my other massive tree. Let me just show you it actually. That one right there. So this one was not fruiting well at all. But this year, yeah, there's just dozens of fruit now. So I like, this is a nice big fat one. And there's even one down there. Yeah, it's not really much I can say about Soursop. That's it. This is my Kai apple, Kei from Africa. It's where they make those hedges with the thorns at to keep the predators out. So I pruned these a couple months ago, like early spring, and this one is shooting out all these new shoots, and then this one has just decided to die on me, which I don't know why. There was no change in watering or fertilizer or anything, so yeah, I'm really disappointed in that because you do need a male and female, and I don't even know what these ones are. So yeah, it's a bit of a shame. It's been growing for like 3 years here. This is the blue Condor, that gigantic tree that I've chopped. You can see how big the trunk got. So that's just shooting back up. It was just crowding out too much sunlight for the rest of the trees, so I gave it a hack. You can see my hedge. These are the lemon myrtle hedges I got there in flowering now. Let me get you a close up of the flower. So I've got them running all along my fence line, and they're just beautiful. And they just get covered in birds, and look at all the bees and insects. There's a big beetle. Anyway, yeah, the only downside about these flowering is that there's such a short window. They're like, I don't even know, 3 weeks. So they start opening up, and in 3 weeks and they're all gone. But they are beautiful because they'll sort of cover the bottom in this white petal. Looks like a bit like snow. Okay, we'll keep this moving because I don't want this to be too long. I'm not going to go into too much detail with everything because you can look at my last video from last year to see what all the fruit are. Star fruit, that was pot bound, so it has not grown well, but since I chopped that big tree, it's shot up a lot. So it's finally getting some decent growth. What else is the Santol? Santol, one of my favorite fruits. Hasn't fruited yet, but the trunk is getting quite decent now. Like, see that? Yeah, the fruits will hang down. So this is my Wampy, which I'm going to give a huge hack because it just has this vertical growth habit, which is annoying because it still has not flowered once. I had a coconut here, RIP, thanks to my dogs. I had a path, a gravel pathway that went around everywhere. So that's now changed, also because of my dogs. So when you have little puppies, it's fine, but as they get bigger, they're running and then the stones are just flying everywhere. So that had to be changed as well. This is the lychee. I've only got one left. We had a bumper crop. There was just thousands of flowers on this little tiny tree. And then we had 2 weeks of rain, non-stop rain. I was going to cover it, but I thought, you know what, it's fine. I'm just still in the sort of building trunk phase in the shape of the trees, so I'm not too fussed about that. This is the Acha Darcinia, what is it, humilis or something? Still no fruit. I still think I'm a couple years away yet. That's the trunk there. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I do check on this like every month, give it a really good check just to make sure in case it hasn't started fruiting. This is the imbe, I don't know how to say this, which is the African Garcinia. Orange fruits. Dogs have just been knocking that, so it just looks horrible. This whole section, if you remember, was like full of flowers. I had like a patumba and a pitanga, what is that one? Pitanguino or something. A few different ones here. Chair of the Rio Grande. So the dogs just destroyed this whole section. They had like I had like some of my little flowers here, and I was just watch the dogs like walking through, and I'm like, and then they just literally would just bite off the flowers. So anyway, this was a disaster area. It was a bit clay-like anyway, so I had to refresh that all. And so I'm gonna plant some more Garcinias in here because this is sort of my Garcinia area. This is the cherry of the Rio Grande that actually survived the dogs. So it's finally growing now, like seems to be really stable because it's been not great here. This is another Garcinia, the lemon drop. I'm not exactly sure, intermedia or Gardneriana or something, but it's just pumping fruit out now. It's probably got, I don't know, 100 on here. They're starting to do like bunches, which is cute. Anyway, okay, this is the yellow mangosteen, which is still growing well. It's not from Dilly's, that's not the tag. Hasn't fruited yet, even though the trunk is quite thick. It's been pushing out these 3-tiered leaves, which I thought was some weird thing, but apparently it's not that weird. So see the 3? See that one? Beautiful. So then on the end, you know, Garcinias with the leaves split on equal on both sides. So they come out this pale color, and then they turn to a darker green. What else we got here? This is my miracle fruit. Someone told me to put some azalea mix. Not if it allows it, just like the soil. So I just dumped it on top and mulched it, and now it's just, I mean, bloody hundreds of flowers on there. Like, it's insane. Yeah, it's pretty much like, look at my jungle now. If I zoom out a little, it's getting literally next to no light now because everything's getting so big. So this is the Mook. Don't know how to exactly say that, but it is just loaded. I've been pruning this back pretty hard just on the sides because I don't want it to grow into my pergola, which is right here, my hammock. So I'm keeping this sort of line here and cutting all these ones back. So it's growing up really well. It's yeah, it just doesn't stop, this one. It's so healthy. There's another guy, another grower here who I went to his place, and he has a tree bigger than mine and it hadn't even fruited yet. So I don't know what's happening with mine, but like, look at this trunk now, it's huge. It's got a little bit of a lean on it now, which I'm not too pleased about. But that's my fault because I didn't stake them earlier and prune them harder. This is a yellow egg fruit, the Canistell, which I thought was a Malay Sapote because I was growing them both from seed. And I thought, I prefer the Malay, I'll plant that here. I don't really like the yellow egg fruit. I'll plant it at my folks' place. And I got it wrong. I mean, you see, some of these leaves are so huge, which look like a Malay Sapote, but no. So this is the yellow Canistell. I did eat it too unripe though. It was a bit chalky and dry, and people said that no, they're actually super delicious. So I'm gonna keep it here. I'll give it a hard prune back because it's getting a bit wonky and leaning over. Yeah, because apparently they are quite delicious. So I'm not going to give up on her just yet. This is a native Australian. This is a Fraser Island apple. I forgot the Latin name. Hasn't fruited yet, but just grows like mad. Like I pruned this thing, like look at that. I just prune and prune and prune, and it just keeps shooting out. Like I'm noticing some landscapers are actually putting this in landscaping now, like as a hedge, because nothing eats it, and like it's just beautiful. Like look at how lush it is. Look at the ladybug all year round. So they grow in the ocean and they're very, very hardy, but yeah, it just looks just beautiful and just so healthy. So we have lily pillies everywhere here in Australia, and so people are starting to sort of diversify away from lily pillies, even though there's a whole bunch of varieties. But yeah, these are good. Fraser Island apple. I haven't tasted the fruit yet. It's supposed to be a little yellow thing. It's supposed to be sweet and tart. Anyway, this mysterious citrus I thought was a pomelo, because it was a mystery fruit that I bought. It was like on discount. I don't think they knew what it was. Anyway, it is not a pomelo. It is in fact the lemonade fruit, which is some hybrid that someone made in Australia. And it just tastes like a lemonade. I've picked two on this one, and they weren't very sweet. But it was the first season last year. So I have tasted one at Jeff Lawton's property, and it was delicious. So I'm keeping it going. So let me just zoom out here so you can sort of see where we're at. Curry bush, butterfly bush. These are the only flowers I can have in my garden now because my dogs destroy everything else. That is an abiu, which has just started to flower. Oh, where did I notice them? Yeah, see, there's one there. My first abiu flower. Yeah, there's more there, which is fine because this tree, I mean, look how yellow the leaves are. Definitely need some calcium deficiency, but it's going well. These are my finger limes. This is my barbecue, which I'm going to redo this patio area to extend my grill. See the I think this is the pink champagne one, and then I believe this is the yellow, something like that. Anyway, I don't do anything to these two. I just leave them there. They grow, and the dogs play and jump and knock them off. And anyway, story of my life. This is the Burmese grape, which these top ones made it through winter, and then right when spring starts, they started dying off. And then I went overseas, so if I gave it water, it would have been fine. But anyway, I'm back, and now it's just pumping out growth, so keeping you there. Mandarin, sunrise lime. This is my jackfruit, which is huge now. I'm going to give it a hard prune up the top. I mean, I've been saying this for 6 months. Yeah, I'm going to prune it. I will prune it soon. I think I've actually just been waiting to film this walkthrough video, and then I can start chopping everything back. So, I don't know. I thought I had female flowers before, it turned out to be males, so I mean, I thought this was a male, but then it just keeps getting bigger and bigger, and I'm like, that's the biggest one that I've had that hasn't fallen off. See, that's the male, and it's already going a little bit black. So I don't know. I don't know. I've got the Jujube, the Chinese date. These are delicious. Was loaded in flowers a few weeks ago, and I was like, yes, I'm gonna get my first crop, and nothing. But I believe that the Jujubes have male and female as well. So yeah, I may need more. This is the Indian star gooseberry. You're supposed to be able to eat the leaves, which is kind of why I grew it, because the gooseberry is actually quite sour and tart. But it's just a very pretty bush. I mean, these things are dead and they're not pretty, but then this looked like that a while back. And look at it. It's just really nice. So I'll keep it until it fruits and then I can see what to do with it. This is another Australian native, the Illawara Plum. Yeah, I'm gonna cut this back as well because I thought it grew like one stem like a pine, but then I've seen them around where they're just like actual big bush trees. So I'm gonna cut that in half because it's like, oh, what is that now? 3 meters up there. Through the jungle. This is my macadamia. This is my allspice, which I use a lot in marinade. Just chuck a leaf in a marinade. It's just delicious. They just smell exactly like allspice. It's very, very strong clove scent, actually. This is my Namdok Mai, which was loaded in fruit about a month ago, and then of course possums come through and destroy them all. So I'm happy that it seems to have stabilized now, and every year the trunk gets thicker. It is grafted. Where's the graft? There, I think. Something. So hanging on. I've chopped my crepe myrtles back, and I've got spikes on now for the possum highway to deter them. Orange. This is the Washington orange, navel orange I should say. So this one, I just picked one yesterday actually, just up there. Like, I didn't realize oranges sort of overlap like this, because I picked one about a month ago, and then I just found one the other day up there, so I just picked it yesterday. So it's sitting on my bench. Yeah, like I said, with that 2-week rain period, because this had thousands of flowers, so it's a bit of a shame. What have we got here? This is the Malay Apple, what do they call it? Water Rose Apple, Lao Lao. So this is the green variety, and it is that big and extremely sweet, very crunchy, delicious. The fig, which was just an afterthought because I can't throw plants out. I've got a problem. So this is the black Genoa. I just threw it there. I did nothing for like a year and a half, and all of a sudden in the last 6 months it's gone. Okay, I'm happy now, I'll grow. So anyway, okay, this is my guava section. This is the Malay red. It has a very vertical growth habit and shallow roots. Keep that in mind if you want to grow this. This is my ice cream bean, which, you know, ice cream bean. Everybody's got an ice cream bean. I have a big issue here. So let's see if I'm wrong, but I think this is like the cambium layer, and if that falls off, I think the tree's dead. Right? Anyway, so I had like my dogs, because the possums would be in here, my dogs would be coming up here, and I think they were pulling on these things, yanking the bark off, like stripping it off. So I don't know. It is like, let me just zoom out a little bit here. One of my fastest growing. Like, look at that. It's huge, and it just keeps growing. So now it's created this canopy, which I'm very happy with. Mexican cream. I've yet to taste this one because it just won't grow like its siblings. So this is the Indian, was it the Indian? Indian or Thai white. Or is that the same thing? That is the China pear. I have, yes, there is one here. Oh yeah, see, it just fell off. It's the Mexican cream. This is the China pear, which is just loaded in fruit. These taste more like a sapote, like they're very creamy and soft, mushy fruit. Very, very nice, all white. I don't know whether this has got, not happy because it's not getting enough sun, or, but if you look at the leaves, see they're like droopy a little bit. And it's not water or anything because they're exactly the same, but my China pear has got, I don't even know, let's say 200 fruit. This one has like a couple. So I don't know if there's something wrong, if its roots aren't happy or something here, but like, yeah. Anyway, the yellow guava, yellow cherry guava they call these, right? This is the purple or the red. Strawberry guava, I think they call that. This one is the Brazilian. That is the pineapple guava. What do they call that? My mind escapes me. Feijoa, that's what they call it. Very cold hardy, the feijoa. This is a couple of mangoes I got. This is a grafted apple mango. Malay Apple, the grower told me. Yeah, I don't know. I've always thought it was an Indian apple mango, but he said, no, this is a Bali apple. So I don't bloody know. I mean, what's the apple mango in PNG? Is that a PNG apple? See, these people just call whatever names from different countries. So anyway, we'll see what that is. This is the Kasturi mango. So these are pretty much the same size. Yet this has grown, you know what, 12 inches. And this has grown like a meter. So yeah, mangoes are so low key. I like hardly water them. Actually, I don't water them. What do we got here? This is the green sapote, or is it the white? White? Oh yeah, white sapote, the green skin, white flesh. Not that fussed with white sapotes. So I don't really, it's sort of just left to its own. I keep pruning it and it just wants to grow straight up. Anyway, okay, this is my start of my Jabo section. So this is a Grimmel. This one just got done fruiting. Tons of fruit on this one this season. So happy with. And Grimmels are definitely my favorite now. After having a whole different variety. This is my Anomaly one, which was a Sabra, but that was shooting, fruiting at the ends. So if you look like a branch like that, see that little tiny twig there? It was fruiting at the end there. And it's supposed to be a Sabra seedling. So I replanted it here because it was in a pot. And yeah, it started fruiting again on the tips about 9 months ago. And then all the birds, whatever, picked them off as a small fruit were forming, and it hasn't fruited since. So I don't know if it's reverting back to a normal Sabra, so maybe it won't fruit for me for a few more years. We shall see. This is my Rambutan, red and the yellow. So they are pretty much exactly the same size as they were when I planted them over a year ago. They die off in winter. Actually, they don't die in winter. They die off in spring. So it's like they make it through all their leaves through winter, and then come early spring, then they succumb to it. And then end of spring, they all reshoot again. So I did plan on like digging these out and putting them in pots in my nursery, but I just, you know, they're still alive, so we're just keeping it going. This is the chocolate sapote. This is a seedling I planted of like a massive one I got. The fruit was literally huge. It was like the size of a pomelo. This is the other chocolate sapote, which I'm going to get rid of because thanks to my mate Doug and Brian told me, because I was like, this one just keeps growing sideways. Like, look at this. It's knee height. And I was like, I keep pruning it. Like, see these branches that go up like that? So I'll cut that, thinking that it'll go up. This will come up and then just start shooting out again. So then they told me, sometimes people graft trees off side branches, and so the tree will always want to revert back to being a side growing tree, which I was like, oh, that doesn't really work here. So yeah, I got that seedling there. I need some more big trees in this section, so I'm happy with that seedling. It's growing really well. This is the Ibica, that spinach, the red stem one, which is delicious. Actually had a few flowers on here, which were beautiful. Don't really see flowers that much. More Jabos. So this is the red hybrid. This is flowering. Yes, it is flowering again. Can you see that? So just a whole bunch. So I flew back from PNG like less than a month ago, and I ate fruit off of this one. And here we are a month later, and it's just flowering again. So yeah, just crazy good. I mean, I did hear that the red hybrids and the scarlets fruit a lot more often than the Sabra and Grimmel, so it's exciting. Scarlet. 2 scarlets. I'm gonna remove one of them, I think. The problem is I don't know where to put it because these guys are gonna get bigger. So yeah, this is the scarlet, and can you see that? More flowers again. That's the other Grimmel there. Oh yeah, that one did start fruiting this season as well for the first time a month ago. This is my Davidson plum. I used to say Davidson, but it's a Davidson plum. 1 and 2. One's a Queensland variety, and one's, see the long, wide leaves? Like that's like 1.5 meters wide, and then this one is like 1 meter wide. This one is older than that one and has multiple chunks. And a ton of flowers. See that? Just flowers everywhere. So, oh, there's a baby fruit. There you go. I was about to say, I haven't had fruit like this in like 2 years. So I don't know if the birds are getting them or something, but I'm glad to see that one. Okay, and this is a Perfume Guava, Campomancia, that's what it is, Campomancia. I just got sticks around to protect it from my dogs, my evil dogs. This is the Ancala, which I planted and was doing so healthy in the greenhouse, and I threw a frisbee. The frisbee hit here, fell in here. The dogs came, were yanking it on both sides. One dog on this side, one dog on that side. So I like screamed and ran after it. So anyway, got smashed. Oh yeah, these dogs at the end of me. So anyway, that one's going well now. I've got a Nashi, not fruiting yet, no flowers. Yeah, so this is a path that I installed, which, because the dogs, you know, the rocks are just flying everywhere when they get their zoomies. These are my 3 Sabras. They are just huge now. I purposely grew them together like this to be like a hedge to block out some more privacy for my little pergola area there. And I just noticed it's flat. Oh yeah, sorry. I should say they just fruited, the 3 of them, for the first time a month ago. Yeah. So when I got back, I had some of them. They were small, not really that great, to be completely honest with you. And yeah, here we are again. 1 month after they've just had their first batch, and there's 1 more flower. So these are the first Sabras that I've had fruit. Like this one, this was the branch here that it was fruiting on. So it had like, I don't know, 8 on here. And it's really weird because it was like all along this one branch, nothing else in the tree. This one, it was all on one branch, like inside the tree, there was like 4 fruit, nothing anywhere else. And same with this one. So obviously as I get older, they fruit more. So we shall see. I'm hoping that they fruit everywhere soon because, you know, everybody loves Jabos. This is Blackberry Jam, which is dead. I actually gave up on these plants, so I'm glad it sort of didn't bother reshooting after winter. Yeah, they're not really the prettiest thing because they lose their leaves, even though I was told they're evergreen, but they're maybe in like the full tropics they are evergreen, but yeah, they always lose their leaves over winter and shoot back in spring. But so I had 2, 1 died. Gold plum, purple plum, coffee. These are the yellow, 2 yellows and a red. They're just smothered. The flowers just died off. You see all the baby coffee beans there. This is the other Soursop. Let me just show you how prolific this thing is. Like there. Hold on, let me get up here. From the top. So there. There's just, I don't even know, like 30 fruit on this thing now. So normal Soursop, this is the mountain Soursop, which keeps aborting its fruit, but there are, see there's one there. Right there. I think this one may hold on. Please hold on, buddy. Because it's so fat and looking nice. There's a couple other ones on there. Yeah, there's one there. So I've still yet to try this one because they'd get to like golf ball size, a little bit bigger, and then they just fall off. This is just some sweet potato that was literally, I just threw a thing in there and it just started growing. So, oh, look at that! Oh my gosh, I've never had them bunch up like that. Whoa! So that's the Barbados cherry. I just love how these flower. Look at that. So pretty. Yeah, everyone knows Barbados cherries, right? Acerola cherries. Yes, I had 1, 2, 3. Oh, the Rollinia. I need some advice on this Rollinia. So this is the Rollinia at the top there. Hold on. Everything's gonna get a big prune, like I said, because I can't even really see things now. I keep pruning this Rollinia, and it will not fruit for me. So if somebody has some tips on what I can do, because it's supposed to grow on the new shoots, right? So I'm cutting the old shoots, and it's pushing out all these new growth, And then I let the limbs grow out on the side because they're supposed to fruit, you know. I'm like, eventually, I mean, look at this trunk. Like, come on. I'm not really that big of a fan of custard apples. I like fruits with more pungent flavor, or, you know. So anyway, the Rollinia is a nice one. It's like a light lemony custard apple. So I'm just a bit frustrated with it, to be honest. It's actually looking battered and bruised, all the leaves. Normally they're not like that, so I don't know what that's just from the recent rains and winds we've had. Okay, this is my new little section I've just done. If you remember, Udo, I had all the rainforest plants here. So, sorry, rainforest plants. So we got pitanga. I got 3 here. Pitanga tuba, and this one was replanted from there. It was pretty much neglected, not getting any sun or water. So the roots were like literally next to nothing. So I'm hoping it'll reshoot. It'll be fine. I was thinking I might put a bit of peroxide with it just to get a bit more oxygen into those roots. This is the white Jabo, which is very small, but she'll be right. So getting a lot, well not a lot, a little bit of sunburn on here, but it'll harden up because that's what I do. I force them to harden up. Like it's pushing up new growth there. And there, these are new leaves which are fine now. So this is the yellow Jabo Cabo, which I transplanted where that Encala is. That Encala, after I cut my olive tree, that's the olive tree there, so that had branched way out, so it provided a lot of shade there. And then this one was just getting burnt. So yellows really, really need more shade, dapper light. So it's starting to, see how their leaves box like that? This has flowered for me for 2 years, but I've yet to taste the fruit because I keep getting eaten. But I think I'm gonna get it on this one's down, the shade. Yeah, you can see this is the shade path of my house. So they get morning sun until about 12, and then the shadow goes along, and they're in shade in the arvo. This is from my mate dog. Thank you, dog. This is Guabiju, I think that's how you pronounce it. This is the Coronada Restinga, and yeah, this one was not watered when I went to PNG for a couple of weeks, so it looked like death. But yeah, these Jabos are really strong, so they're all bouncing back now. New shoots. Butterfly bush, they're just so pretty. They smell good, and my dogs seem to just not bother with them, which to me is a miracle. So yeah. And then this one is the what is this one? I have the dwarf custard. Yes. So this is the normal custard, and then I've got a dwarf as well in my greenhouse. I think that's about it. Is that it? Yeah, that's about it. Okay, Ludo, say goodbye. And yeah. So this is where we're at. So I need this side to get bigger to end up looking like this side. Okay, thank you for watching, everyone. Until the next update next year sometime. Hopefully I can actually do a spring tour in spring like I've planned on doing.